This ends the second tale of Malazan, Book of the Fallen. I got through it.
Yeah. I feel like you had some struggles.
Of course.
I feel like I relived some trauma.
Of course. In typical standard SEVIN fashion, this conversation will be all over the place.
Messy.
Very much so.
Did you want to start with initial thoughts, or do you want to consult your list?
I don't know. Once again, I have notes. But after a point, there just started being so many questions that I just was like, I give up. I gave up on trying to keep track. But I do want to ask, okay, this is just general stuff.
Okay.
How big, like what is the length of a league? Do we know?
I don't really remember.
Because, 3 leagues away or less than a league, and I'm just like, okay, so how close are they actually to wherever they're at, or whoever's following them?
I don't remember the exact on that.
So I'll have to do some research, I guess. Or maybe someone can let me know in the comments. Another one. Is Bolt Duiker's uncle? Or is this just like
I think it's a banter thing.
Okay.
But, I wouldn't count it out.
Yeah. Okay. Let me see if I had any other general thingamajigs on here. Okay, and Tremolor is a type of an Azath house.
Okay, so Tremolor is an exact Azath house. Like Deadhouse.
Isn't it? Yeah, it's like it's the name of an Azath house.
Yes.
And the Azath are, or we don't know yet. But
it's easier to just read it and get a feel for it than me try to explain it.
A Raffo moment?
Yeah.
Okay. But in Gardens,
One showed up.
And that's what...
Captured, raced, and is finessed.
Okay, but didn't Ralik Nam go into one? Or did he...
Same one.
Same one. Okay. But that wasn't like the Deadhouse or Tremolor, it was a different one.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Azath are ancient and even the people don't fully understand, as you have read.
Yes.
So it's easier to let Erikson explain it later with other...
Examples?
Sure.
Of Azath? Storylines? Okay. In my thinking, some themes. I want to confirm if I'm interpreting, death and mortality, friendship, and transformation or growth. Could you say those are themes that are a part of it?
Yeah.
Okay. I'm trying to get a little bit better in seeing deeper things. But I've given up on the foreshadowing. And my gosh, I'm so glad I did. Because I would have been so way off if I had any... Because what happened? I did not see what was coming. I wasn't trying to. But I wasn't even like, what? Yeah.
You just kept getting punched in the face.
I'm just like, what's going on? Okay, so... Let's just get to the first.
Okay.
The most... Oh my god, I hope I don't cry here talking about it. Duiker.
Right.
Who is the bulk of this book. He's not with us anymore. However... Sorry, I have to clear the tears in my eyes. So naturally I cried on that. Mm-hmm. I was also angry. But my however is because near the end, these 2 new characters come in. I don't know if they're going to be long term or what, but they got names, so I'm going to remember their names. It was Erp and Rudd. And they went up to one of the Bonnies that was on one of the little trees, because, they They strung them all up. All the Malazan
troops that came out.
After... Oh, yeah, that was a whole thing, too, that I didn't see coming. But anyways, we'll get back to it. So they come up there, and they, like, you know, are rummaging this one particular one. And, first of all, they find a note that has a name on it, which I'm assuming is the name of the nameless soldier, nameless Marine. But I don't think she survived, so does it matter that we know her name?
It's more of, I feel like some people might have wanted to know the name, and it's a way of being like, yes, this is who you think it is that they're searching.
Okay. And then they put it back, because that's not what they're there for. Therefore, they offer this little vial, which Duiker, because this is Duiker, he was wearing around his neck, and when he fell, at some point, it broke, but it didn't, like, break. And then they, like, yank it off of him, and they're like, he's in there. Is Duiker in there? Is he in there?
I can't answer that.
Because originally, this thing was, I don't know who gave it to Coltane.
The
trading company, which I want to know more about them, too.
Maybe next book.
They just come out of nowhere on these white stallions and have all this carriage of goodness, but they were sent there by somebody who we know. I can't remember. Did they say who it was? Or allude to who it was? It was someone with the bridge burners, yeah. But that no, that didn't confuse me. It did confuse me at first, but then I had to remember bridge burners. They're former Malazan. But then I was like, but why are they helping Malazan? Because they got booted but not by Malazan, by the Empress. But anyways, I digress. This is all over the place. You were warned. So originally Coltane was wearing it. Mm-hmm. Okay, so now Coltane, we lost Coltane.
That killed me.
I did not react in a sad, crying manner like I did with Duiker. I was fucking pissed. Because this little douche monkey over here, Porqual, or however you say it, however you say it, little pussy, he's just sitting there, not sending anyone out to help. Mm-hmm. This man, this crow, he has just fought for 768 pages, I said? 768 pages the man fought to protect these people. Mm-hmm. And they're going to sit there. Now, the soldiers who were within Aaron City wanted to go out. Mm-hmm. But they had to follow command. Mm-hmm. And I was pissed. I was like, what? What? And then he was suffering, which caused Nether and Neil to suffer. Mm-hmm. And then one of the own Malazan guys had to take him out to end the suffering.
And that kind of wrecked him.
Mm-hmm. I was pissed. I'm like, why? Why are we not going out there and doing something? Meanwhile, now you done screwed yourself because the person who's been fighting the enemy this whole damn time... Successfully is no more, and the enemy is now outside your door.
Yeah.
I do have to say, though, I was a little torn because at some point after all this or whatever, the Fist, what's his name? Porqual or
Fist?
Yeah. That guy. The douche monkey. He's all like, we're gonna go out there and take out Corbolo Dom. I can't remember all their names. I know they start with certain letters, and we're gonna take them out. So they're all, and Duiker's all like, yo, I don't really think you should. And he's all like, shut your face.
Traitor.
After this is all over with, you and the two little ones are getting arrested. And we're going to assassinate you. Yeah. And I'm like, oh, hell. So they head on out there.
Well, first, you're forgetting a part.
Well, throw it in.
That little noble fucker.
Nethpara? Ooh. I hated him, too. Why didn't they just drop him off a cliff somewhere? Nobody would have known.
Duiker was taking him out, but someone stopped him. And but he finally got it there.
He finally got him, which, he's like, you already done put an execution on me. What you gonna do, fire me? I mean, come on. Mm-hmm. So anyways, they head on out there. So this is why I'm torn, because they head out there with this intent to attack. And then some riders approach from the enemy side. with, I think they had a white flag. Let's see what they want. So the little pussy man, he can't go talk to him because he's too pussy. So he sends Malak Rel, who is a...
Just a priest?
Yes. So he's got sorcery stuff, right? I don't know. Anyways. He sends him over there. Does the talking, comes back. Turns out this guy, he's a freaking treacherous one. And he's just like, okay, so here's the deal. They're willing to let you guys be good. But you have to lay down all your weapons and everyone has to file into this basin. And you know, when I'm reading this, I'm like, wait a minute. This sounds like something Coltane went through way back when they're like, oh, we'll allow you to pass with no problem. Meanwhile, you have to be you're going to be in an area in which you'll be defenseless.
Mm-hmm.
Why do people fall for that? Because I'm reading, I'm like, what are you doing? I don't like you, but clearly you have to see that you're going to be screwed.
He never did see. I think soon thereafter,
well, that's true, yeah, he was. But I'm just, as it's being presented to you, the idea. And Duiker, he has to know because he's been through this before.
Well, he
did know. He let his horse go back to the city. But I'm just saying, like, why? But anyways, so, oh yes, okay, we agree to surrender. We lay down all our weapons. We send all of our soldiers into this basin, which now they're surrounded. So I was like, And then that guy, whatever his name is.
Malak Rel?
Yes, he's the traitor. He's been working with this cat, I feel, for some time now. But then I didn't feel bad because, as you said, the fist, Pormqual, or however you say it, got his head taken off.
But you feel bad for the troops.
I feel bad for the troops. Because these are the same ones who wanted to go out there and help Coltane and they couldn't. And here they are listening to yet another command by this imbecile. And now they're going to go die.
They even gave off the aura that they knew what was going down, but they couldn't
do anything.
Mm-hmm.
And Duiker knew, and I think at this point he just, like, accepted his fate.
Mm-hmm.
But, okay, so Coltane, they put him out of his misery, because I don't know if I was imagining this correctly. So he's on, like, a cross-shaped thing.
Yes.
He's not dead yet, but he's on, like, death's door. He's trying to pass. And
they weren't letting him.
They weren't letting him. Because, and then, like, these crows kept flying overhead, and every time they tried to come down to him, they would shoot him out of the sky.
Mm-hmm.
So that's eventually why the one Malazan soldier... Squint. From a distance, took him out with the arrow. And then once he was taken out... all the crows were able to descend and take him. And then, fast forward, we're now with some woman who's a widow and is with child that apparently has no soul. So she sounds like she's about to head out to the desert to have an abortion. But then this, like, ominous big cloud of darkness starts coming towards her, and the, like, medicine woman, what do they call them, horsewife? Mm-hmm. The horsewife comes out and is like, don't do it, and, like, swats it out of her hand. And it turns out this massive cloud is actually crows.
Mm-hmm.
What's going on there? Is Coltane, like, coming back? Is this all, like, reincarnation and people are getting recycled?
Maybe.
Oh.
Death in Malazan is not always permanent.
Right.
But there's actually, like, it's not clean.
Well, yeah, okay, yeah, and then back to Duiker, because and Erp and Rudd. He's in there. Grab the body, because he's going to want the same one. Oh, it's all tore up and it should be light to carry. So that makes me think we're going to get Duiker again.
Maybe. I can't answer that.
Oh, man. Okay, so while we're on the theme of death, apparently, did I read correctly in that Lucine is not like an actual living person? She's just a bag of bones with a voice?
She's a living person.
Well, she was...
Magic was being used.
To make her seem like a bag of bones with a voice?
Yes.
And who was the, that was Topper that came and visited her. He's the head of the Claw, who have been trying to take out Caleb. But now, oh man, and that was another thing, like, Caleb finally had his chance to come and take her out, but then that's when he realized it was just a voice. So he changed his mind, or did he?
No, he was official, like, I'm no longer coming for you.
So she tried to call the Claw off of hunting him, but Topper's like, nope. Right?
Topper kind of basically was like, it's time to clear the ranks of the Claw anyway. It'll be alright.
So she's a person, but she's not a person.
She wasn't there.
In this, yes.
But
her voice was?
Yeah, you met her in Gardens.
I know, but, something could have happened that I don't know about. We've met her, but we haven't really been with her.
Yeah, I know.
Except for, I think, at the beginning. We haven't been with her, I think, since Felison was taken into the slave trade. Because wasn't she there with the adjunct? She wasn't there with the adjunct?
You haven't seen Lacine since Gardens.
Okay, so see, even more of a thing that I haven't seen her in a whole however many pages. She could have died. But okay, so she's not a bag of talking bones. Okay. Let's talk about Felison. Do I have any notes on Felison? Actually, I should say Shaik, formerly known as Felison. I don't have any notes on her.
But you got your answer if she is or isn't.
Yep, she is. Yes.
She is.
She is, but she wasn't reborn in the normal way.
No.
So, Heberick was kind of concerned that people might question the truth. But if she wasn't reborn, like, I'm like Heberick, like, how are you if you weren't reborn in the normal way? Like, how did you get chosen? Was that explained? And I just didn't understand it?
The way I look at it is it was a sloppy, like a sloppy prophecy where maybe incorrect wording was used or it's not answered the way you think.
Yeah. But I mean, was this deal already in place?
Not necessarily.
Before her and Heberick just happened to stumble upon him?
You could say yes because of all the trauma she went through, which kind of, in a way, mirrored the original Shikes.
Yeah.
But you don't really know.
Yeah. And I feel like with one of my themes of, like, growth, she's like a teenager when she's Felison. I feel like when I'm reading her as Sheik, she's like a grown woman.
She went through a lot.
I mean, she doesn't talk like a 16-year-old. Like, when I read it in my head, it doesn't... Like, when she was Felison, and I'm all like, this girl's a bitch, and blah, 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 and she's got a little... I'm like 16. And then as she was progressing, and I'm like, man, she's more like Wednesday Addams. I'm like, depressed 16. But then as Sheik, she's like, woman. Like, that's how I hear her as a wise...
Well, you gotta think, like, since she is Shaik reborn, how much of that is actually still her?
Yeah, that's true. So, I don't know. I don't know. Like, since a lot of this was Duiker's story, I don't know that I have a lot to say about the Shaik storyline right now. Because I feel like it's kind of just later. Starting.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, she just, I think in the section we're covering, I think she just finally got to
she basically
the town
had time to establish herself, use the whirlwind to travel to Aaron, and told the forces, hey, back off.
That's where we're at, yeah. So, we're going back to the desert. So, there you go with that. Come on.
Mappo and Ikariam.
Mappo and Ikariam. Well, I am glad because at the end of our last video, when you were like, is she going to be soul crushed? I'm like, oh my gosh. I was thinking Mappo is going to have to do something to Akarium, because that's what I've been worried about this whole time, because they're like my favorite partnership. But luckily, they've fallen through a hole, and they're still friends, and everything is good for right now.
And Akarium forgot.
And Akarium forgot. He had his moment of rage. Whoa! Moment of rage. Okay, let's back up. We're going to jump to a different set of characters, but it ties into this.
Mm-hmm.
So, Fiddler in the gang, which consists of Crocus, Absolar, Servant, Iscarolpus. That's it, right? They go to Tremolor, which they're going to use to transport themselves to Deadhouse. Okay, got that right. Good. So, in doing this, in Tremolor, oh, they had the hounds with them, too. Shadow's hounds. See, Shadow, I'm gonna digress here. Shadow, I don't know what his game is. What does he got going on?
Well, that's the whole damn question, isn't it?
Get it? He just pops up in places, and I'm like, why are you here? Why are you sending your people or your pets or whatever to do their thing? Why are you letting this thing live, and why are you bringing this thing back? And I don't know what the hell's going on with him.
And then you're like, him and Catillion are a team, but Catillion just shows up over there.
Yes! If we want to talk about things just showing up anywhere, let's talk about Apt. Apt just shows up wherever with her little kid rider on the back. I'm just whatever. Okay, but I digress. We're going back to Tremolor with Fiddler and the gang. Mm-hmm. Okay, so they do what they got to do in there, and they get through it. But while they're in there, Akarium is like losing his mind. And Detrell. It's true. But it's Mappo. Mappo's having to like bear hug him.
And he's not being very successful.
To keep him. Because apparently the house wants Akarium. That's the part I didn't understand.
So, Azath, so far in this, all you know is Azath, traps threats.
Okay. And why do they see him as a threat, though? Akarium, at that point. Now, we learned something a little bit later in this section that...
Because of who he is.
Okay, he's Akarium. He's Akarium. He don't even know who he is. So anyways.
But that doesn't stop the fact that the house knows.
Okay, so the house knows. Okay, so whatever. They get through there. Akarium is not taken by the house. They go to Deadhouse. I feel like I was going somewhere with this.
Well, Mappo and Akarium kind of fall off the floor, but yeah.
Well, because they come across this flooring. Now, is this in Deadhouse or is this in Tremolor?
Tremolor.
Okay, so then I'm still in the right house, Tremolor. First of all, what's his name? Moby! Who I picture as a little monkey. He's the one who gets him in. Mm-hmm. Tremolor. Mm-hmm. And then he ends up becoming like the guardian of Tremolor. Mm-hmm. He's just like sitting there playing with his little tail, like, I'm in charge, but I don't know it. You know what I mean? Mm-hmm. So anyways, Moby saves the day, gets them in the house, because there's like something coming after him outside the house. So Moby stays there. Crocus had to say goodbye. I was a little sad there. I'm like, Moby. Anyways, the way you're bobbing your head makes me think I'm like not done with Moby. But anyways.
No, it's just funny.
Okay, anyways. So then they move along. They come across, they're still in Tremolor. They got the tile floor, which apparently you fall through where you need to go. Mm-hmm. So Iscarolpus, he just falls on someone back somewhere. I'm assuming he went back to his little home.
And runs into a spider divers.
Did he? Oh yeah, he did.
Magara.
Did. Yes.
And she's like, I don't want the power anyway.
Yeah, they're like an old married couple going at it. Anyways. So he falls through. And then Mappo and Akarium fall through. And it sounds like they fell out in front of Aaron. Mm-hmm. Okay. And then Fiddler and them keep going. And they don't realize that people are falling strategically. Like, they don't realize that this is how they're like...
It's kind of like it's fated.
Why are people just falling through? And then all of a sudden these dragons come through and they just go down. And that's when they realize you fall where you need to go.
Mm-hmm.
Or where you need to be. So then they fall through into Deadhouse. Now, back to the whole Ikariam's rage thing. The keeper of Deadhouse is his father. And we learn from his father that the elders actually did all the destruction of Mappo's people, but made it seem like it was Ikariam.
Because Ikariam needed a watcher.
And the first one couldn't handle it.
Who said it was the first one?
Well, they said he had another one, and that one didn't last.
The previous one.
Yeah. So that's why I'm like, why? When I read that, I'm like, well, why would the house be fearful of Ikariam? He didn't do, unless he's done something I don't know about, he didn't do what's been, alluded to this whole time.
Well, remember, Ikariam did destroy that whole town and that warren where his device was.
But I thought that was Mappo's town.
Nope. That was a completely different location.
Oh.
Mappo's people are like nomads in like a forest.
Oh.
Kind of thing.
Okay. But why did he destroy it?
In his rage, he can't control it.
But why did he get pissed off?
Maybe the way his father alluded, he was trying to get to his father.
So he doesn't like his dad?
No. So the people in the Azath, like the Guardians and everything, can't really leave. It's not like they're prisoners, but they're prisoners, in a way.
Right, but his dad said it was kind of nice.
Because the Jagged, solitude.
By the way, when I read that line about him saying the Jagged like to just kind of chill out, these are not the words, they like solitude, they like to be by themselves. I'm like, oh my God, I'm married to a Jagged. Don't like to leave the house. Just want to stay home. I guess there's worse things you could be, but... Anyways. But yes, so they like the solitude.
So, but Ikariam didn't know that it was like a willing thing, I guess. He just knew his father was there.
So he thinks the Azath took him like hostage.
Originally. He don't remember now.
Well, he don't know nothing now.
Yeah, but like at that time, he went into a rage because all he knew was he couldn't get to his father.
So then I guess my question too is, why does he not remember anything? Have we not been explained that?
I don't think it's been explained really.
Okay.
But I mean, getting knocked in the head a few times.
Well, yeah, that'll get your marbles loose.
But he also doesn't remember what happens when he's in a rage, so...
Yeah. So he doesn't ever remember anything. How does he remember that Mappo is his friend?
Because he wakes up every day and Mappo's there.
But that don't mean nothing.
Well, you'll find out more things later.
How does he know that he's him?
That he's Ikariam?
That he's because like we've said before, the Soul Takers and the Divers, they kind of fear him, and
rightly so.
And he just doesn't seem to question why. You know what I mean? I don't know. Okay, what else we got? We lost List officially. We thought we lost
all of the 7th.
We thought we lost him last go around, but he was having some weird visions.
From a Jagged.
Which is what Ikariam is, right?
Well, they call Ikariam a Jag. I don't know precisely if he's like a half-breed, but...
I don't know. See, there's just so much going on. I just don't... I don't understand. I don't understand.
You don't need to yet.
So, Ikariam destroyed the 7 Sting Thrones, which is not Mappo's place. By the way, is there a significance to 7, the number 7, other than, us, we're awesome. But, in the book, is there a significance to the number 7?
I would say it is kind of repeated.
It is.
7 cities.
7 sting thrones.
7 hounds.
Lucky number 7.
Or not if you're the 7th Marines.
Yeah, well, yeah. So, I don't know. I'm just not even going off these notes anymore. Whatever, we're winging it. So, what else do we got? We don't want it to be too long, but I feel like there's so much to talk about.
So, all the children that Aft brought.
Which Shadow Throne
took.
And let them be alive again, and now they're the children of Calum and whatever her name is.
Manila?
All 1,300 of them.
Yeah.
I'm like, why? And he let, Fiddler re-enlist, and he let Apsalar and her father and Crocus all go back to the little fisher town, free of Cotillions' possession. There was something about Cotillion. Oh, yeah, Cotillion. He had that conversation with Apt. And he's all like, just call me Uncle Cotillion. And I'm like, what's going on? What's going on?
Not what you expected from the patron god of assassins.
No. Not at all. But anyway, so he Shadow Throne let them 3 go back, possession free. Who else? That's it? Yeah, why is he letting these people have what they want? What has he got going on?
Well, I know it probably don't seem like a lot, but Fiddler re-enlisting is fucking important.
I mean, he should have at least taken some R&R and then did it. But anyways, and then, okay, and then here's another thing. In one of these sections, Lestariel, the Red Blade, was taken prisoner in Erin City.
Yep.
And she had, up to that point, was following Calum and traveling with Pearl, who's a claw. And, they get to Erin and they split, and then she gets taken hostage. Now, here I am thinking this whole time that Pearl's just standing there waiting for her. Because I think they were going to, meet back up, and she got taken prisoner. And Pearl's I'm thinking Pearl's just standing there, like, la, 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 la. No. Later on, we find out that this mysterious person that's sharing passage with Calum on the boat, the rag stopper, by the name of Salky Lan, is actually Pearl.
Mm-hmm.
And is screwing over Calum.
Yeah.
Because Calum used to be a claw. And apparently, once a claw, always a claw.
Mm-hmm.
But since he was no longer along the claw lines, they were trying to take him out.
Mm-hmm.
But see, now aren't the claw... Who do the claw... Who do the claw... Okay, we did this before. They work for the Empress. Okay.
She created them.
So... Why wouldn't she want him taken out? Why wouldn't she want him taken out?
Who?
Calum. Because at the end there, after him and the Bag of Bones talked, she was like, I'm going to ask them to call him off, but...
I cannot answer this.
Oh my god.
You'll get that answer later.
I feel like there are, alliances and things happening that I am not seeing.
Oh, wait until you get into book 3.
I feel like... I don't know. What? I don't know what's going on. All I can tell you is that everyone seems to be in Erin, except for those who are going back to the desert with Shaik, went back to the Fisher Village, and I think Fiddler was going to re-enlist and go somewhere else.
No, he's going to Erin.
Oh yeah, because they're still in Deadhouse. But isn't Deadhouse in Aaron? No, it's in Malaz City.
Malaz City.
Yeah. So everyone else is in Aaron. Duiker was in Aaron.
Tavor's about to arrive
in Aaron. But Sheik is there, but now she's going back to WAHOO. So who's in charge of Aaron now if Pormqual is no more?
Maybe Ballistic?
Okay.
Because I think he was the highest ranking one left.
Okay, so then when Mappo and Akarium fell through the hole and I think they popped out in front of Aaron, they run into Truth, Stormy, and Gessler. Who are they looking for? They're like looking at all the bodies on the trees, and I'm like, who are they looking for? Are they looking for Cope? Are they looking for Heberick? Are they looking for Duiker? Whoever it is, apparently they didn't find them, but I think they actually did, and they didn't want to tell Truth that the person had been found. But who are they looking for? We don't know. We don't know. Do we know? I want to say I think they're looking for Cope.
But Cope wasn't there.
But Cope wasn't there. But do they know he wasn't there?
Well, judging off the reaction, I'd say they were looking for Duiker.
But then they should have seen him, because wasn't he like the very last
they kind of
one?
shared a look after they told Truth that.
Oh, yeah. So, okay. So they found whoever they were looking for. We just don't know who they were looking for. And Truth was taking care of 2 dogs who were badly injured. And see, this is why I love Mappo, because apparently he helped the dogs feel better. And apparently these 2 dogs, one was Bent, who is a Wiccan cattle dog. And
it was full of arrows and fighting till the end.
And the other was the little rat dog that Bent was seen carrying in his mouth earlier on in the game. I thought he was going to eat him, but now I'm thinking maybe he was just moving him to a safer location.
Or her.
Him or her, to a safer location because those stupid noblemen were after him or her. But anyways, are we done with Bent and the little rat dog?
Oh, no.
Oh, good.
No.
Good.
I'm going to shove there.
Okay. I think that's it. She's a mom now, and she named her kid Fellison. So.
Fellison Younger.
Yes. They didn't say Fellison Younger, they just said Fellison. But if we're going to go with the standard, it would be Fellison the Younger. Even though she's not Fellison, so it works without the Younger.
I will say from a reread standpoint, the whole Duiker storyline still got me. And the Mappo and Akarium thing hit me a little deeper than the first read. Probably because I know more background that you
don't know.
Yeah. And something from book 10 makes a whole lot more sense right now.
Yeah.
And I cannot.
Well, no.
Yeah.
So I wouldn't say I was soul crushed. I would say I was pissed off, sad, pissed off, and then what? That's how my reaction to the ending is.
I can first read, yeah, that's fair.
Alright, so next would be in this series Memories of Ice. That is supposedly the make or break one, right?
I would say get through that if you're like in the
on the fence.
Yeah, about finishing it.
Okay.
Because it brings a lot more things